Happy New Year! Welcome to 2024. We made it. Kinda. I'd actually been meaning to do a video like this over like the last week, just because so much has happened over the last couple of years and there's so much that will happen this year, and I wanted to talk through that a little bit. And that list, as I was thinking about it, kept getting bigger and bigger, and today that list got a little bit bigger. Not in the way I really wanted it to, but for those of you who don't know, I'm no longer with 3D Realms as a creative producer. It's been a really fantastic year with that crew, doing things like 3D Realms Live. We did 43 consecutive weekly streams, a lot of different games, a lot of different guests. That was a ton of fun, and Jared is like the best host to work with. Realms Deep this year was incredibly complex and difficult, but ultimately really rewarding. And that event over the last 4 years has been really important for me because I know how important it is for a lot of the indie developers who manage to get on the show, and it really helps boost their numbers. It helps get their name out there. A lot of collaboration happens. I see it happening in real time, even while I'm like sitting in my cave and trying to make the show happen. That's really what I see as like the power of that show, and I hope it doesn't go anywhere. So we'll see what happens there. I don't really have a lot of immediate answers for that, just because today was the day I got the news, and in a few days I'm going to QHLAN. Bookmark that, I'll come back to that. But I wanted to talk about the last couple years and some of the things that have been happening on Tasty Spleen TV and Tasty Spleen Studios, as we're coining it. In 2022, we ran a lot of 2v2 Quake Champions Tasty Cups. That was a ton of fun. 2v2 Quake Champions is the mode for Quake Champs, really. It's great to watch, it's great to play, it's easy to organize, which I like a lot. Really a fantastic mode. It is the thing. And I'm really thankful that Rob Corv and the Shafttastic TV crew are kind of carrying that forward and doing a lot more events like that. I want to see more of that. I want to see a lot more like that. 2022 also included a lot of Organ Grinder, and that was a really technically complex show, a bit high concept for the Quake community. And if I ever have time to do it again, I would really, really love to. It just takes a lot of preparation every show to do. It's like a month of straight prep. And so I think in 2022 we were doing it, every 2 months? And even that was like a lot. And then that ran into QHLAN 2022, which was an awesome show at like the coolest venue ever. And I'm really happy to say that it's going to be happening at this venue again in just about a week, which is super exciting to me. It means that it's comfy, it's cozy, the place is going to look great, the show's going to be good, and I already know where all the wires go. So that's a big benefit to me. And over this last year, it really has felt like I've been in a cave just because Realms Deep took up so much time. There was an Action Quake 2 LAN in Stockholm, and the Action Quake 2 guys are just like the chillest bunch, and they make everything so easy, very welcoming. I was really thankful to be able to be a part of that. So that was a fun show. And of course, 2023 meant that QuakeCon came back to real life, and that was a big deal for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it was actually like their first QuakeCon. And initially I thought, man, what is that going to be like? Because the event is so different than it used to be. And even when I started coming to QuakeCon, there were people who were as old as I am now at the time saying, man, QuakeCon isn't what it used to be. It's kind of an evolving event. But I'm happy to say that for a lot of people who did come to QuakeCon for the first time, they had a ball. And I did too. It was actually the first time I hadn't worked at QuakeCon in 12 years. I got to just like hang out and chill with friends and play video games and have fun. And that was a really novel experience for me. It's been a while. And we got to play some of our game, Midnight Guns. And we spun that off and took that effort and put it into the other LAN event that happens just across the street from QuakeCon, LAN All Night. We rented a booth there, and the staff there was very helpful, very accommodating. We had a pretty simple setup, like 3v3. We got the most economically viable mice and keyboards we could, but people sat down, they had fun, played games. It was mostly about proving that we kind of could do a booth like that at this stage of the game's development, and it went off without any problems at all. So that really got me thinking about doubling down on Midnight Guns this upcoming year and focusing on that. So when it comes to Quake streams, I think QHLAN 2024, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the last Quake LAN I agree to do for a while, just because things like QHLAN, it's like 2 months of solid planning, and things like Realms Deep, 2 to 3 months of pre-production, and before you know it, the year is just gone. And Midnight Guns is very close to being ready for public consumption. There's still a long, long way to go, but we're almost at a point where we're happy with it technically, where we can start letting people into the alpha via Patreon, and we're like one patch away from that being ready. The things getting included in that patch keep growing, but we're one patch away. So that is going to be the focus for 2024. Even with the news about 3D Realms today, I don't think that's going to change. I'm going to be looking for somebody else to work with after coming back from QHLAN. I don't know what that's going to be right now, and I'm happy to postpone thinking about it for another couple weeks, but that's going to be coming up pretty quickly. But either way, you're going to be seeing regular streams from us about Midnight Guns. Within the next month or so, you're going to be able to play Midnight Guns if that's your speed. If you don't know what Midnight Guns is, then check out, I don't know, I'll put a link somewhere, probably down below. But in the meantime, yeah, really interesting times. And again, I'm very thankful for all the kind words and the support today. It gave me a good reason to remember all the events we've been working with over the last 2 years, all the people I've got to work with, and it's always an amazing experience. The Quake community and various communities attached to it, it's a growing list, really. It's just the best bunch of people ever, and it makes me feel very secure, even in times like this. So, Happy New Year. I mean it this time, not ironically, and I'm looking forward to great things. Thank you.